Here is a fast and compact 3-bit analog to digital converter. It takes 2 ticks to convert an analog signal, and it is 9 by 7 by 6 blocks. The only caveat with this design really is that it's non-ordinal, meaning it encodes the numbers 0 through 7, but not in that order. So I can demonstrate that if I add some outputs, these redstone lamps, and this item frame as an input. And you'll see it's going to cycle from 0 to 1 to 3 to 5, 2, 7, 6, 4, and back to 0. You can see I've broken the design out into these 3 components. There's the analog to line converter in white. In gray is the binary encoder, and in black is the linkage between the two. Now, the non-ordinality aspect comes from the fact that the linkage is as compact as possible. So it's merely a consequence of this compact design. But later I'll cover ways that you can actually have this be an ordinal variation. So here is the design broken out into the 2 main components. So you can see the converter is just kind of a series of these subtractions, and it takes as an input the analog signal, and then it converts it into individual redstone signals, so 7 individual signals. The binary encoder takes 7 individual inputs and outputs the 3-bit representation of a number. So this input is for number 1. This input is for number 2. This input is for number 3 somewhere. This input is for number 4. This is for 5. This is for 6. And this is for 7. All right. Now, if you need ordinality, well, I mean, let me first just cover like what an application might be when you don't need ordinality. A good example would be something like a minecart station, or anything with user selection where the order of the selection doesn't matter. So here, like, we have a bunch of destination rails. It doesn't really matter the order in which the rails are laid out, as long as the user can make a selection. So user makes a selection, and they go. Doesn't matter what order things are laid out in. Now, let's say it does matter what order things are laid out in. You want your converter to actually count, just like, and have it represent the signal strength of its input. Well, you can do that by just modifying the linkage aspect so that it connects to the encoder in natural counting order. And it adds a little bit more to the build, so it is less compact, but it is just as fast. So you can see it counted through, and it went in order this time. But you also might notice that there's some overlap in inputs. There's some like residual signal from the previous input. You can actually fix that by adding an instant off circuit between the converter and the encoder. And it's pretty easy to do. This is what one looks like, and they're very easy to stack. You can see they're all just connected to the output of the converter and connect to the linkage here. It adds about 4 ticks of delay between input and output, but now when we cycle through, there's no overlap of outputs. It goes immediately to counting upward to the next value. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.